A friend of mine named Leo Chalukian has had a wonderful life. Success in Hollywood, married the woman of his dreams, raised a family. Leo is 90 years old, and for the most part of his life, he's had one burning desire. It's something most of us took for granted as teenagers. Meet Leo.
Wow, it's interesting to see all of this.
I've known Leo Chalukian for decades, but there are things about this man I never knew.
He's walking the stage tonight with us.
Leo went to Belmont High School. 2 weeks shy of his graduation ceremony, he got called up. He had enlisted in the Navy. It was 1945.
And they promised that I would be able to graduate. Well, they lied. You know, they took me earlier and I didn't graduate.
They took him into the Navy 2 weeks before the ceremony, so 72 years later, these are his fellow graduates. It's graduation time. Doing that walk to get that diploma at the tender young age of, at that point, 89, what was that like?
Very emotional, to be honest with you. I was sitting underneath the bleachers at the time that the music plays. When they started marching out and sitting, I was emotional.
Why?
Well, you see, I'm getting that way now again. It was something that I really missed when I didn't get a chance to graduate. Never realized it until I went overseas to South Pacific. That kept coming into my mind. You know, I didn't graduate, I didn't graduate, I didn't graduate. And I remember there was 3 Marines there, 2 men and 1 woman. And I guess she saw me sitting there and getting emotional. And so she bent over. She says, "Go ahead and cry." Which I did.
Levon Leo Chalukian, class of 45.
In 1945, it was the tail end of World War II, but for Leo Chalukian, it was the start of a time he'd like to forget. He didn't even tell his own family what he did during the war until he reached his 80s. And why did you do that?
I wanted to get it out.
Why did you hide it all those years?
Because I was ashamed of some of the things I did.
Things he says he was ordered to do while on a naval minesweeper. But he's not ashamed of the amazing life he's lived, working for a sound company in Hollywood, first as someone who'd get donuts and coffee for fellow workers. You were a gopher.
I was a gopher. I didn't want to use a word, but I was a gopher.
Go for this, go for that.
Go for that.
Right. And when it was time to move up in Hollywood, he went for it. He became a sound recordist, working with new sound technology, eventually bought the company he was working for, Ryder Sound. He worked with big stars, Jerry Lewis, Judy Garland, Frank Sinatra. He was president of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, and each year of that he took the national stage during the Primetime Emmy Awards. And outside of work, he built his family.
You know when I first met her or saw her? When she was 13.
With his wife, now married 66 years, they raised son Dale, who followed in his dad's footsteps as an audio editor on Fox's Gotham, and daughter Kimmy. It was Kimmy's idea to get Dad the one thing that had eluded him all of these years.
Heads up.
She decided,
I'm going to send a letter to the principal, and I'm going to ask her for a tassel.
So impressed, the principal and the school board wanted him to finally get to walk the walk.
And after I cried, I called my kids. I said, guess what? Grandpa's gonna march. And it meant a lot that he was gonna do that.
Indeed. So on a warm spring night, it was Dad who, after all these years, followed in their footsteps. A Hollywood executive who found the one thing that may have been better than an Emmy. Congratulations, Leo. Still ahead on Fox 11 News in Depth, some of the comments you left for our local firefighters on our Facebook page. We'll be right back.